Good day. I am Kim Min-hee, MC of the grand opening. The Arctic Partnership Week is co-hosted by the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and co-organized by the Korea Maritime Institute and the Korea Polar Research Institute as the largest Arctic event in Korea that has been held yearly since 2016. Now in its sixth year, the APW brings together experts from home and abroad for comprehensive discussions on Arctic policy, science, industry, culture, and more, promoting the achievements of Korea's Arctic activities and seeking ways for stronger international cooperation. This year, due to COVID-19, not all participants could join us in person, but we still have a large audience watching the YouTube live stream. We have honored guests gracing us with their presence. Let me introduce them one by one. When your name is called, please rise from your seat and face the camera at the back center to greet the audience. And I'd like to ask all other participants to give a warm welcoming remark. First, Mr. Moon Song-hyuk, Minister of Oceans and Fisheries. Mr. Park Jong-soo, Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Northern Economic Cooperation. Mr. Hong Young-gi, Government Representative for Arctic Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Chang Yong-soo, President of Bugyong National University. Mr. Boo Gu-uk, President of Yongsan University. Mr. Lee Yun-chul, Vice President of Korea Maritime and Ocean University. Mr. Kim Mong-seo, President of Korea Institute of Ocean Science and Technology. Mr. Kang Jun-seok, President and CEO of Busan Port Authority. And the organizers of this event, Acting Duty President of the Korea Maritime Institute, Mr. Kim Jong-deok. And a co-organizer, Mr. Kang Song-ho, President of COPRI. And we have many other important guests. I would love to introduce to you each and every one of you, but in the interest of time, I am unable to do so, and I ask you for your kind understanding. To kick off the 2021 APW Grand Opening, Mr. Moon Song-hyuk of Oceans and Fisheries will deliver an opening remark as a welcome to all of you. Please give Mr. Moon a big round of applause.
입니다.
존경하는
Distinguished guests from home and abroad, I am Moon Song-hyuk, Minister of Oceans and Fisheries. The 2021 Arctic Partnership Week marks its sixth year, and I would like to extend my heartfelt welcome to all participants joining us at the event. My special thanks go to Chairman Park Jong-soo of the Presidential Committee on Northern Economic Cooperation, Hong Young-gi, Government Representative for Arctic Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, President Chang Yong-ju of Bugyong National University, President Boo Gu-uk of Yongsan University, Vice President Lee Yun-chul of Korea Maritime and Ocean University, President Kim Mong-seo of Korea Institute of Ocean Science and Technology, and CEO Kang Jun-seok of Busan Port Authority. Thank you very much for coming despite your busy schedules. We also have guests that will be delivering their remarks via congratulatory video, and my deepest appreciation goes to Mayor Park Hyung-jun of Busan Metropolitan City, President and Chair Ban Ki-moon of the Global Green Growth Institute, Secretary General Im Gi-taek of the International Maritime Organization, Chairperson Chung Hae-gu of NRC Korea, Chairperson Grimson of the Arctic Circle, Chair Nikolai Kuruchunov of the Senior Arctic Officials of the Arctic Council, Chairman Brigeni Abulosonov of the Arctic Economic Council, and Executive Director Anu Fredrickson of Arctic Frontiers. Thank you very much for sending your congratulatory video messages. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, 2021 is a meaningful year that marks a significant milestone in the history of Arctic activities in Korea. To start off, for the first time in the world, Korea enacted and put into force the Polar Activities Promotion Act, which supports various polar activities such as research and international cooperation in both the Arctic and Antarctic. In addition, the plan to build a next-generation ice-breaking research vessel has been confirmed, of which will assist studies even at high latitudes in the Arctic Ocean, which has been difficult to access up till now. Based on these achievements and accumulated experience in Arctic activities, we established the Arctic Activities Strategy, which presented our vision to leap forward as a leading country in Arctic governance in 2050. The strategy passed the cabinet meeting on November 30th. The Arctic Partnership Week you are a part of today is Asia's first Arctic-related regular forum, held annually since 2016. It is a venue of communication and exchange where all current issues related to the Arctic, including diplomacy, science, economy, and society, are discussed. I would like to take this invaluable opportunity to introduce the 2050 Arctic Activities Strategy, which contains the Republic of Korea's vision for its Arctic program. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the rate at which the Arctic environment is changing, including rising temperatures and sea ice, is much faster than we expected. There are even grim prospects of an ice-free Arctic in 30 years. The Arctic Challenge is no longer just an issue for the Arctic Circle. It is a challenge faced by not only the entire planet and all mankind, but also the Korean Peninsula. Thus, active and responsible action is required. The Republic of Korea also intends to fulfill its obligations and responsibilities as a responsible Arctic partner country. First, we will actively contribute to resolving the pending issues of the Arctic. We will invest unsparingly in research on climate change and environmental conservation in the Arctic Circle. By securing research infrastructure, including next-generation research icebreakers and satellites, we will lead joint international research to make a leap forward as a leading country in the Arctic. To identify solutions to environmental problems in the Arctic Ocean, such as black carbon and microplastics, we will actively cooperate and stand in solidarity with various principal agents of Arctic governance. Furthermore, we will also take into account the challenges faced by Arctic indigenous communities, including housing and healthcare, caused by climate change. Second, we will broaden our diplomatic horizons in the Arctic. We will further expand exchanges with Arctic countries, the Arctic-related councils, and international organizations. To begin with, as countries in the Arctic Circle have different policy priorities and interests, we will tailor and strengthen bilateral cooperation. Utilizing the strengths of bilateral cooperation, we intend to advance into a mutually beneficial partnership in various fields, including Arctic environment preservation and sustainable development. In addition, we will strengthen cooperation with consultative bodies on the Arctic, such as the Arctic Council, Arctic Economic Council, the Arctic Circle, and Arctic Frontiers. In particular, as a trusted observer of the Arctic Council, we will increase the breadth and depth of cooperation by participating in working groups and unearthing and promoting cooperative projects. Third, we will participate in sustainable Arctic development in preparation for the Arctic era in 2050. Arctic climate change is a crisis facing all of humanity, but paradoxically, it also presents new opportunities. The Republic of Korea will deliver on its role as a responsible partner within the framework of Arctic governance in which various actors participate. First, speaking of the Northern Sea Route, the Republic of Korea will not only focus on the economic value of the Northern Sea Route, but will also actively pursue significant values such as maritime traffic safety and disaster response. In order to establish a safe Arctic sea route, we will offer Arctic e-nav or e-navigation maritime traffic information service and take the lead in developing eco-friendly ship navigation technologies while also actively contributing to the process of establishing international standards such as the regulation of ship fuel oil in the Arctic Ocean together with the International Maritime Organization and Arctic countries. Likewise, by continuously participating in the international community's efforts to prevent unregulated fishing in the Arctic, Korea will seek to establish itself as a country leading the sustainable development of the Arctic. And last but not least, in order for the Republic of Korea to carry out its role and responsibilities in the Arctic governance system, it will not only focus on nurturing experts in various fields such as Arctic research and navigation in the Arctic Sea Route, but also organize a pan-ministerial policy council to support Arctic activities as well as strengthen the capabilities to oversee and coordinate polar policies within the government. Distinguished guests from home and abroad, Korea is now entering its second chapter in Arctic activities. The new keywords defining new Arctic activities are contribution and trust. Going forward, we will actively contribute to resolving Arctic issues related to climate change and the environment and build trusting relationships with various Arctic governance stakeholders to become a leading nation that is with the responsibilities of Arctic activities. And I believe such efforts start here at the Arctic Partnership Week that commences today. I look forward to rich and in-depth discussions about the future of the Arctic through various events over the course of the week on Arctic policy, scientific research, logistics, as well as seminars on cooperation with indigenous communities and citizen participation events. And I hope that the array of programs will serve as an opportunity for the public to further enhance their understanding and interest in the Arctic. Lastly, my thanks go to all those involved in preparing for the event. And I wish all of our participants great success and the best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moon. In his opening remarks, has presented his idea of how Korea can leapfrog into a leader in Arctic activities by 2050 through the APW. Please give Minister Moon another message of gratitude. And next, Mayor Park Hyung-jun of Busan City has sent us a congratulatory message. Here is the message.
반갑습니다. 부산광역시장 박형준입니다. 2021 북극 협력 주간 개막을 진심으로 축하드립니다. 뜻깊은 행사가 올해도 부산에서 열릴 수 있도록 배려해 주신 문성혁 해양수산부 장관님과 우리 외교부에도 감사를 드립니다. 온 오프라인으로 함께하고 계신 국내외 정부 기관과 국제기구, 산하학연 관계자 여러분께도 환영과 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 북극은 인류에게 남겨진 마지막 보물입니다. 북극을 둘러싼 에너지 문제, 경제협력 문제, 문화 교류를 비롯한 모든 분야에서 인류 공영의 길을 열어가는데 국제사회가 지혜를 모아야 할 때입니다. 대한민국의 해양 수도인 부산도 지속가능한 북극의 미래를 위해 많은 노력을 함께하고 있습니다. 전문가들이 참여하는 극지해양 미래 포럼을 구성해서 정부의 북극 정책과 연계한 다양한 사업들을 발굴하고 있습니다. 북극 전용으로 활용하게 될 차세대 쇠빙 연구선의 모항이 부산으로 결정되면 국내외 극지 연구 인프라가 부산으로 더욱 집중될 것으로 기대하고 있습니다. 각국에서 부산과 적극적인 협력의 길을 모색해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 올해 북극 협력 주간에서 큰 성과가 있기를 바라면서 부산을 찾아주신 모든 분들을 다시 한번 진심으로 환영합니다. 감사합니다.
네, 여러분.
Yes, that was Mayor Park with his congratulatory message. And next, we have Mr. Park Jong-soo, Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Northern Economic Cooperation, who has come to Busan in person for congratulatory remarks. And please welcome Mr. Park with a big hand.
안녕하십니까.
Good day. I am Park Jong-soo, Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Northern Economic Cooperation. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations on the opening of the 2021 Arctic Partnership Week. His Excellencies, Minister Moon Sung-hyuk of Oceans and Fisheries and Minister of Foreign Affairs, as well as all staff members, thank you for preparing this event. New Arctic Cooperation 2050 is a fitting topic to ensure sustainability in our policies. Since my appointment as chairman in August, my first visit was to the Russian Far East. This is because President Moon Jae-in declared in September 2017 the new northern policy at Vladivostok, the first gateway to the Arctic, where all 9 bridge project targets are concentrated. Arctic cooperation on shipbuilding and the NSR are of particular importance. Near Vladivostok, I also visit the Zvezda shipbuilding complex in Bolshoi Common Port and the LNG plant in Sakhalin, where I reconfirmed the commitment on the NSR and hydrogen cooperation. NSR and shipbuilding are key areas for the bridge project targets. Early November, the 3rd Korea-Russia Regional Cooperation Forum was held in Ulsan, where Minister Chekhov for the development of the Russian Far East and the Arctic was there in person, whom I met, and discussed ways for cooperation. Russian delegation of 129 members also engaged in in-depth discussions, which extended into the 3rd International Forum for Northern Economic Cooperation on November 18th, held by the Presidential Committee. And the discussions will continue on to next week at Vladivostok at the 11th Korea-Russia Far East Cooperation Forum. All of these events serve as platforms toward the Arctic. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change presents us with both a crisis and an opportunity. First, the crisis of nature. Climate change destroys the ecosystem with global warming and spreads horror throughout the mankind with the COVID pandemic. As the permafrost in the Arctic Ocean and the Siberia melts, viruses that had stayed frozen for 24,000 years are coming alive like zombies, threatening to be the next COVID. According to scientists. Second, the crisis of humans. Endless competition over resources in the Arctic started already in the early 21st century. In the North Pacific, which is the floodgate to the NSR, military tensions are on the rise. 3 years ago, Russia carried out a large-scale military exercise called East 2018 in the Northern Pacific, which had never been done, not even by the Soviet Union, and was joined by China and Mongolia. Just as the South Pacific is the stage of U.S.-China conflicts, in the North Pacific, U.S.-Russia military tensions cannot be ruled out. In addition, over the Kuril Islands, Russia and Japan conflicts are reaching dangerous levels. Third, opportunities. Paradoxically, global warming is advancing the opening of the Arctic age which is leading to revolution in logistics. Compared to the voyage from Busan through the Indian Ocean to Europe, the NSR will shorten the distance and time by a third. Unfortunately, South Korea is blocked by the division from the northern continent and is isolated like an island. The shortest way to Europe is through the East Sea, North Pacific, and the Arctic. Distinguished guests, the Arctic Ocean is melting faster than our expectation, much faster. Similar to the COVID pandemic, this crisis must also be minimized and turned into an opportunity through trust-based cooperation among interested parties and nations. In July, UNCTAD assessed the ROK as an advanced economy in name and in reality. Rather than quietly watching the movement of other nations, Korea should take the initiative to open up an age of the North Pacific and the Arctic. I believe experts participating in this event will gather your wisdom to elevate Arctic cooperation to another higher level. I wish you a fruitful time. Thank you very much.
박종수 국방경제
Chairman Park Jong-soo of Presidential Committee on Northern Economic Cooperation, thank you very much for your words of support and encouragement, as well as your detailed suggestions for the future. Thank you very much. Many distinguished guests from home and abroad sent us their congratulatory video messages. Let us all watch the video messages of 7 distinguished guests, including His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, President and Chair of GGGI, and His Excellency Olafur Grimson, Chairman of the Arctic Circle.
우선 2021년 북극 협력 주간 개최를 진심으로 축하드립니다. 북극은 기후변화의 최전선에 놓여 있습니다. 올해 개최된 제26차 UN 기후변화협약 당사국 총회에서 확인된 바와 같이 북극의 기후변화 문제 해결을 위한 전 지구적 관심과 공동 대응 노력이 필요한 시점입니다. 올해 한국은 남북극 통합 극지 정책의 기반이 되는 극지활동진흥법을 제정했으며 2050 북극활동 전략을 수립하였습니다. 오랜 수건이었던 차세대 쉐빙 연구선 건조도 확정되었습니다. 이러한 일련의 성과들이 앞으로 북극의 기후변화에 대응하고 북극의 지속가능한 발전을 위해 기여하는 토대가 될 수 있을 것이라 믿습니다. 한국이 2016년부터 개최해온 북극협력 주간은 북극과 비북극권을 하나로 이어주는 협력의 플랫폼이자 북극 현안의 머리를 맞대어 함께 고민하는 담론의 장이었습니다. 앞으로도 계속 성장해 나가시길 바라며 다시 한번 올해의 성공적 개최를 진심으로 축하합니다. 감사합니다.
Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations on the opening of the 2021 Arctic Partnership Week. I'd like to extend my compliments to Minister Moon Sung-hyuk, Honorable Minister of Oceans and Fisheries, and to you all. Scientific evidence has shown the significance of the Arctic to the global community. That's why we need to adopt a collaborative approach to the Arctic based on advanced science and technological capabilities. IMO is leading the global efforts to ensure the safety of navigation in the Arctic and environmentally friendly use of the Northern Sea. We welcome all efforts to bring interested parties together to discuss these important matters related to the sustainable development of the Arctic. Once again, congratulations on the opening of the 2021 Arctic Partnership Week. I hope you will have a productive discourse that will pave the way for renewed Arctic cooperation to 2050 and beyond. Thank you.
여러분 안녕하십니까? 경제인문사회연구회 이사장 정혜구입니다. 2021 북극협력 주간의 개막을 축하드리며 행사를 준비해 주신 문성혁 해양수산부 장관님과 관계자 여러분들께 깊은 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 2021년은 국제사회에 우리의 지속 가능한 북극 개발과 보호 의지를 보여준 의미 있는 해입니다. 극지활동진흥법 제정과 오랜 수건이었던 차세대 세빙연구선 건조가 확정되며 더욱 속도감 있게 북극권 현안 해결에 기여할 수 있게 되었습니다. 또한 오늘 이 자리에서는 북극의 미래를 향한 우리 정부의 신북극 활동 전략이 발표되었습니다. 지속 가능한 발전에 기여하는 책임 있는 국제사회의 일원으로서 우리의 역량과 잠재력을 전 세계에 널리 알리는 계기가 될 것으로 기대합니다. 내빈 여러분, 기후온난화로 하루가 다르게 변화하고 있는 북극의 환경은 사람과 사람, 그리고 국가와 국가의 공존과 연대를 더욱 필요로 합니다. 2016년부터 개최되고 있는 북극협력 주간은 더 나은 북극을 향한 국제적 연대와 협력의 장이 될 것입니다. 다시 한번 2021 북극협력 주간의 시작을 축하하며 이번 논의의 장에서는 새로운 선진국으로 부상한 대한민국이 북극권 문제에 대해 선진국 지위에 걸맞는 협력과 책임감을 보여줄 수 있는 귀중한 자리가 되기를 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
It is a great honor to participate in the opening of the Arctic Partnership Week and to be able to congratulate all of you on the new Arctic strategy. For me and the Arctic Circle, it has been a great privilege to cooperate with Korea on multiple Arctic affairs. The Arctic Circle Forum we organized in Seoul a few years ago was a historic event in the Asian contribution to the future of the Arctic. And at the Arctic Circle Assembly, which took place in Reykjavik last month, the delegation from Korea, led by one of your distinguished ministers, was a remarkable Asian contribution to the Assembly, especially because China, Japan, India, Singapore were absent because of the COVID situation, but despite the pandemic, Korea came to the Assembly. And on the plenary stage, described your vision, your policies, and your role in the future cooperation of the Arctic. And for all of that, I thank you, and I congratulate you, and I hope in the coming years our cooperation will continue to grow.
Dear Excellencies and distinguished guests, it's a great honor for me as the chair of the Arctic Council's senior Arctic officials to welcome you to this year's Arctic Partnership Week. I want to thank and congratulate the Korean Maritime Institute and Korean Polar Research Initiative for organizing this excellent program that brings together Arctic and non-Arctic actors to address pressing issues that will impact not only the Arctic, but the entire globe. The theme of this year's program is New Arctic Cooperation 2050. The Arctic is a special place where strong relationships are formed and constructive cooperation is achieved across nations and cultures. Climate change may bring challenges and uncertainties to the circumpolar region, but one thing that has remained consistent and powerful over the last quarter century is Arctic cooperation. Through formats like the Arctic Council, the Republic of Korea is an important contributor to efforts that advance scientific work, environmental protection, and sustainable development in the Arctic. Many of the immense challenges and opportunities we face in the Arctic are global in nature. Only through global cooperation and collective action, we will achieve our goals to secure a sustainable and prosperous future that will benefit us all. Thank you, and I wish you a successful event.
Dear participants of the Arctic Partnership Week in Busan, Korea, dear colleagues, Arctic Economic Council has had close working relationship with South Korea since the establishment of our organization in 2014. For several years, Arctic Economic Council has been supporting Korean Arctic Academy education program organized by Korea Maritime Institute and U-Arctic. The Arctic is becoming increasingly important to South Korea because of, on the one hand, the Northern Sea route provides a faster shipping between the Asia and European market, between Pacific and Atlantic Ocean. And on the other hand, Northern Sea route development provides economic opportunities for Korean shipbuilding industry. Furthermore, Arctic has sustainable solution to address the energy needs in Asia. Arctic Economic Council members Navatech and Sovcomflot has been cooperating with South Korean Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering and Samsung Heavy Industries on building ice-breaking LNG carriers for the Yamal LNG and Arctic LNG 2 projects, as well as LNG floating storage units for transshipment of LNG in Kamchatka and the Kola Peninsula in Russia. Arctic Economic Council is delighted to congratulate South Korea with its new Arctic strategy. We welcome your ambitions to further engage in sustainable development in the Arctic and wish you a productive Arctic Partnership Week in 2021. Thank you.
Excellencies, dear colleagues, friends of the Arctic. The mission of Arctic Frontiers is to facilitate knowledge-based responsible development of the Arctic region. We do that by building bridges across science, policy and businesses, by bridging continents, generations and communities. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where science is not trusted by all. We see that the mission of Arctic Frontiers is being challenged. By collaborating with partners committed to increasing knowledge about this region, Arctic Frontiers wants to strengthen the role of science as the basis for decision-making. Our goal is to highlight the need to understand modern Arctic change. Our hope is to provide an arena to those who contribute to groundbreaking new knowledge about the region. Our wish is to further contribute to global collaboration, serving the communities affected by change. Arctic is high on the international agenda, and we wish to make sure that the discussion about the region is based on the right perception. We want to contribute to increased knowledge of our region outside its borders. Our collaboration with Arctic Partnership Week and the Korea Maritime Institute is an important part of our mission when building pathways. This is an example of new Arctic cooperation with highly esteemed partners. Cooperation that knows no borders. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you every success for the 2021 Arctic Partnership Week. And I do hope that we are soon on our pathway to a post-pandemic world so that we can welcome you to Tromsø in January 2022.
여러분 힘찬 박수로 화답해.
A big round of applause, please. Thank you from afar. Delivered their congratulatory message to support the 2050 Arctic era. And there's also a key topic that I would like to share with you, which is the Care the Arctic campaign. Arctic issues such as climate change and environmental protection are not only challenges of governments and experts, but are issues of all of us, of which, as members of the global village, should pay attention to. In that sense, the Care the Arctic supporters, made up of the members of the youth, are participating in protecting the Arctic environment. We would like to take this opportunity to introduce the activities of the Care the Arctic supporters and the campaign. Many people participated in the Care the Arctic campaign through social media and posted their pictures to showcase their efforts. So why don't we have a closer look into their activities?
여러분 따뜻한 박수로
A big round of applause, please, for our members of the youth of the Care the Arctic campaign. And we do not have everyone here on site, but we do have our 48 supporters joining us online. Shall we meet them? Would you like to give us a big wave, please? Please wave back for our supporters. Thank you very much for your efforts, and we have high expectations for your future endeavors. And we will be joining. We will have 2 representatives of the supporter team, and they will be receiving the plaque of appointment by our minister. And let me now invite Minister Moon Sung-hyuk, as well as our 2 representatives of the supporters team, to receive the plaque of appointment. The minister will present the plaque of appointment one by one to our representatives. And we will also engage in a hand printing ceremony. So first, to Park Sang-min, we would like to present the plaque of appointment. A big round of applause, please. And to Cha Na-eun, once again, the plaque of appointment. And we would now like to move on to the next ceremonial performance. And please join us for the hand printing session.
묵직한 앞으로의
And with your sense of responsibility for the ongoing activities, please place your hands on the frame for the hand printing, and on the count of 3, it's okay to place your hand on the frame, please. And on the count of 3, please press your hand onto the frame with the other free hand. Now, to congratulate the opening of the APW 2021 and the announcement of the 2050 Arctic Activity Strategy. All right, if you're ready, here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Please press your hand. And please give a big round of applause. With the aspiration to become an Arctic leader by 2050, the hand printing ceremony is now complete. Please hold up your frame and show it to us. Yes, and we will have a photo session. Please face forward with the frame. Another warm round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And please put your frame down and come forward. Now, for a group photo to commemorate this event, I'd like to invite the distinguished guests sitting in the front row to come forward to the stage. If you look at on the stage, we have a red mark on the stage. Please stand next to the red mark on the stage. And please follow the guide of our staff. And now I invite the guests in the second row to please come forward and find your spot on the stage. so that we can have all of you in our photo.
2021 북극 협력 주간은
The 2021 APW, I believe, starts anew, facing the 2050. Your prospect and hope will be carried throughout the week. Please find the right spot on the stage and face forward.
그럼 화이팅 한번 외쳐도 될까요, 감독님? 오른손 주먹 한번 불끈.
Please raise your right hand.
자, 이대로 계시고요. 자, 지금
Please stay that way, and all our online participants, I know that you have hand-drawn Save the Arctic calendar. Please hold it up to the camera. And here's the photo.
좋습니다. 힘찬 박수 서로에게 보내드립니다.
And this is the end of the photo session. Let's wrap it up with a big round of applause. I wish we could have invited more guests in person, but we are still very happy to have online participants joining us. We are able to transcend the space. And despite your very busy schedules, I'd like to thank you all for joining us for this event. And I hope that we can charge forward all together towards 2050. I hope that the APW offers a valuable opportunity for both Arctic and non-Arctic states to bolster solidarity and mutual communication. And with that, I'd like to conclude the opening ceremony. Thank you very much.